Shalom and greetings again. This being the end of the Day of Atonement, I did want to read a few things out of Yeshayahu, Isaiah, that really brings home a lot of things that have been transpiring over the past few days and few hours and what have you. And we need to have an understanding about the Father and his Mashiach, all right? So we'll start at Isaiah 59. Now, again, I told you all where it says Lord in your scriptures. We should be saying that because that's referring to Satan, okay? So we want to say Bara or Creator or Yahuwah, Huahaya, or Yahuwah or Ahaya. And anyway, let's go. You all excuse my stomach. I haven't eaten yet. I was trying to wait until the end of this day. So bear with me, please. We'll start at 59, Isaiah 59. Behold, the Bara's hand is not shortened that it cannot save, neither his ear heavy that it cannot hear. But your iniquities have separated between you and your Bara, and your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear you. For your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity. Your lips have spoken lies, and your tongue hath muttered perverseness. None calls for justice, nor speaks the truth. They trust in vanity and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. They hatch cockatrice eggs and weave the spider's web. He that eateth of the eggs dies, and he that which is crushed breaks out as a viper. Their webs shall not become garments, neither shall they cover themselves with their works. Their works are works of iniquity, and the acts of violence is in their hand. Their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity. Wasting and destruction are in their path. The way of peace they have not known, and there is no judgment in their goings. They have made their crooked paths. Whoever goes therein shall not know peace. Therefore is judgment far from us, neither does justice overtake us. We wait for light, but behold obscurity for brightness. But we walk in darkness. We grope for the wall like blind, and we grope as if we had no eyes. We stumble at noonday as is night. We are desolate places as dead men. We roar as like bears, and mourn sore like doves. We look for judgment, but there is none, for salvation, but is far off from us. For our transgressions are multiplied before thee, and our sins testify against us, for our transgressions are with us. And as for our iniquities, we know them. In transgressing and lying against Yahuwah, and departing away from from the Bara, speaking oppression and revolt, conceiving and uttering from the heart words of falsehood, and judgment is turned away backwards, and justice stands far off. Truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. Yea, truth faileth, and he departs from evil, makes himself a prey. And Yahuwah saw it, and it displeased him, and there was no judgment. He saw that there was no man, and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness is sustained him. For he put himself on righteousness as a breastplate, and as a helmet of salvation upon his head. And he put on the garment of vengeance for clothing, and was clad with zeal as cloak. According to their deeds he will repay fury to his adversaries. Recompense to his enemies, to the islands he will repay recompense. So shall they fear the name of Yahuwah from the east, from the west, and from the esteem from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahuwah shall lift the standard against him. And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, said Yahuwah. As for me, this is my covenant with them, said Yahuwah. My spirit that is upon thee and my words which I have put in your mouth shall not depart out of your mouth, nor out of the mouth of your seed, nor out of the mouth of your seed, said Yahuwah, from henceforth and forever. Amen and amen. Chapter 60, verse 1 Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the steam from Yahuwah is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the bara shall arise upon thee, and his esteem shall be seen upon thee. And the Gentiles shall come in thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. Lift up thine eyes around about, and see, all they gather themselves together. They come to thee. Thy sons shall come from afar, thy daughters shall be nursed by thy side. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. The multitude of camels shall cover thee. The dromedaries of Midian and Ephah, all they from Sheba shall come. And they shall bring gold and incense, and they shall show forth the praises of the bara. All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee. The rams of Nebaioth shall minister unto thee. They shall come up with acceptance on mine altar, and I will esteem the house of my esteem. Who are these that fly as a cloud, as of doves to their windows? Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring their sons from afar, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of YAHUWSHA, and to the set apart one of Israel, because he has esteemed thee. And the sons and the strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut by day nor by night. The men may bring unto thee forces to the Gentiles, and that the kings may be brought. For the nation and the kingdom that would not serve thee shall perish, yea, those nations shall utterly be wasted. The esteem of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box tree, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, or set apart place rather. And I will make the place of my feet esteemed. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down to the soles of thy feet. And they shall call thee the city of Yahuwah, the Zion of the set apart one of Israel. Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations. Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and shall suck the breast of kings, and thou shalt know that I, Yahuwah, am the Savior, and thy Redeemer, the Mighty One of Jacob. For brass I will bring gold, and for iron I will bring silver, and for wood brass, and for stone iron. And I also will make thy officers peace, and thine exactors righteousness. Exactors righteousness. Violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders. But thou shalt be called thy walls salvation, and thy gates praise. The sun shall be no more thy light by day, neither for brightness shall be thy moon give light unto thee. But Yahuwah shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and the light Yahuwah thy esteemed. Thy sun shall be no more go down, neither shall the moon withdraw itself. For the bara shall be thine everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended. Thy people also shall be all righteousness. They shall inherit the land forever, the branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be esteemed. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the bara, will hasten it in his time. 61. The Spirit of Yahuwah is upon me, because he has anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, and to proclaim the liberty to the captives, and to open up the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of Yahuwah, and the day of vengeance of our bara, to comfort those that mourn, and to appoint them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them the beauty for ashes, and oil for joy for mourning, the garment of praise for spirit of heaviness, that they may be called trees of righteousness, planted of Yahuwah, that they may be esteemed. And they shall build the old waste places, They shall raise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the waste cities and desolations of many generations. And strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of aliens shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers. But ye shall be named by the priest, but ye shall be named by the priest of Yahuwah. Men shall call you ministers of your Barah. You shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, in their esteem shall you boast yourselves. For your shame you shall have double, and for confusion they shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore in their land they shall possess the double everlasting joy shall be unto them. For I, the Barah, love judgment. I hate robbery for burnt offerings. I will direct their work in truth. I will make an everlasting covenant with them, and their seed shall know that among the Gentiles, their offspring among the people, all that see them shall acknowledge them, they that are the seed which Yahuwah hath blessed. 10. I will greatly rejoice in Yahuwah. My soul shall be joyful in my Barah. For he hath clothed me with the garments of salvation. He hath covered me with the robe of righteousness, as a bridegroom decketh himself with ornaments, and as a bride adorneth herself with jewels. For as the earth bringeth forth her bud, and as the garden causeth the things that are sown in it to spring forth, as the Barah, our Creator, Yahuwah, will cause righteousness and praise to spring forth before all nations. 62. For Zion's sake will I not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake I will not rest, until righteousness thereof goes forth as brightness, and the salvation thereof as a lamp. And the Gentiles shall see thy righteousness, and all kings thy esteem, and thou shalt be called by a new name, with which the mouth of Yahuwah shall name. Thou shalt also be a crown of esteem in the hand of Yahuwah, and a royal diadem in the hand of thy Barah. Thou shalt no more be termed forsaken, neither shall the land any more be termed desolate, but thou shalt be called Hesabah, and the land Beulah. For Yahuwah delighteth in thee, and thy land shall be married. For as a young man married the virgin, so shall the sons marry thee. And as for a bridegroom rejoiced over thee, over the bride, so shall Yahuwah rejoice over thee. I have set watchmen upon the walls of Jerusalem, which shall never hold thy peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of Yahuwah, keep not silent, and give him no rest till he establish, and till he make Jerusalem a praise in all the earth. Amen. Yahuwah has sworn by his right hand and by the arm of his strength, surely I will no more give the corn to be meat for thine enemies, and the sons of the strangers shall no more drink the wine for that which thou hast labored. But they that have gathered it shall eat and praise Yahuwah, and they that have brought it together shall drink in the courts of my set apartness. Go through the gates, prepare ye the way of the people. Cast up the highways, gather up the stones, lift up the standard for the people. Behold, the Barah hath proclaimed unto the end of the world. Say ye to the daughter of Zion, behold, thy salvation cometh. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. And they shall be called, and they shall call them the set apart people, the redeemed of Yahuwah, and thou shalt be called sought out, a city not forsaken. 63. Who is that comes from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This is that esteemed in his apparel, traveling in greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the winepress? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall sprinkle upon my garments, and will stain all my raiments. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and the fury it upheld me. And I tread down the people in mine anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength into the earth. Verse 7. This it says there with the heading of Yahuwah is good to Israel. I will mention the loving kindness of Yahuwah and the praise of Yahuwah according to all that he has bestowed on us, and the great goodness toward the house of Israel, which he has bestowed on them, according to his mercies and according to the multitude of his loving kindness. For he has said, surely they are my people, children that will not lie. So he was their savior. This is a lot for us to take in. So let's take this in and understand that we need to change our way of thinking and start doing righteous. All right, verse 9. In all their affliction he was afflicted, and the malach of his presence saved them, and his love and in his pity he redeemed them, and he bare them and carried them all the days of old. But they rebelled and vexed the set-apart spirit. Therefore he turned to be their enemy, and he fought against them. Then he remembered the days of old, Moses and his people, saying, where is he that brought them out of the sea with the shepherds of his flock? Where is he that put his set-apart spirit within him, that led him by the right hand of Moses with his esteemed arm, dividing the waters before them to make himself an everlasting name, that led them through the deep as a horse in the wilderness, they should not stumble. As a beast going down into the valley, the spirit of Yahuwah caused them to rest. So didst thou lead the people to make thyself a great esteemed name. 15, we have to pay attention to these last verses especially. This is about the name and by being hidden, and about the Messiah's true name, but by being accepted because of the people who have died in millennia past in that wrong name. So he has to pick those things up. But the name is the same as was declared to Moshe and the children of Israel. All right. Look down from heaven and behold from the habitation of thy set apartness and of the esteem, where is thy zeal and thy strength, the sounding of thy bowels and the mercies toward me. Are they restrained? Doubtless thou art our father, though Abraham be ignorant of us, and Israel acknowledge us not. Thou, Yahuwah, art our father, our redeemer. Thy name is from everlasting. O Yahuwah, why hast thou made us to err from thy ways, and harden our hearts from thy fear? Return for thy servant's sake the tribes of thine inheritance. 18. The people of thy set apartness have possessed it, but just for a little while. Our adversaries have trodden it down, thy set apart places. We are thine. This is 19. Thou never bearest rule over us. They were not called by thy name. What does that mean? Verse 19. We are thine. You never bore rule over us, because satanically everything was influenced from the foundation of the world, and we have been in a situation where everything has been deceiving spirits, deceiving ministers ever since. You understand? So here we are in a situation where Yeshayahu, which also means Yahuwah, Huahaya is salvation. He's saying here that we never knew him by his real name, even though the Messiah, Mashiach, came and declared that name to us. You understand? And the thing is that we are to know him by that name. Like I said, now, there are a lot of people throughout the world still calling on Jesus. They don't know any better. So for me to say that he can only be called by Yahusha, all right, but that is his name. Now, these people that be on the other side there, they're trying to utilize this thing for their purposes in the scapegoat thing. All right, the Baran father of the creation. All right, he speaks the truth. All right, he speaks the truth in righteousness and declares the truth from the beginning, so that we know it at the end, and what is to be expected. And so that we know that we were never really known by his name, because it wasn't declared to us. It said it right there. I'll read it again, verses 18 and 19. The people of thy set apartness have possessed it just for a little while. Now, of the people of thy set apartness means that they were a set apart people. We were a set apart people. Those who have come into our blessedness with our Creator. That's part of that, because they're those who have established themselves in the earth as they are double agents, if you will. Okay. So then it says 19, we are thine, because we want to acknowledge that we belong to him. But thou never bearest rule over them. So then it says they were not called by thy name. Now we'll look up this word rule in verse in the Strong's Concordance, so that we have a better understanding of what is really being said there. And now, the true Creator is ruler of all, and he's the creator of all. He doesn't have to be or usurp authority of anything and try to have or manipulate anything in order to usurp authority and have a name that means connoting that he is absolute ruler, because he doesn't have to do that. You understand? Because he is who he is. He is that I am that I am. He is the being. Okay, so he's the one that came from eternity to keep us in the way. Now, this one that is associated with this Mithraism, that's all entailed in that Christianity type of thing. All right, that has nothing to do with the true Messiah. This is all I'm trying to say. That's all I've been trying to say all along. But the thing of the matter is, all the while, that part in the book of Revelation has been there, and I was supposed to have been bringing that out. But like I said, the set apart spirit had me to leave it out for such a time as this. And it is for such a time as this that we would have that understanding. Okay. And that word called is Strong's 7121 in the Old Covenant. So you look for what's in the Hebrew and Chaldean, which I hate we have to use the Chaldean, but that's Chaldean Aramaic. That's what we were speaking when we were in the exile. So, and 7121. All right, let me go there and see if I could find it quickly, so that I'm not wasting too much of your time. And I don't really feel that it's a waste of times, because it has to do with the kingdom. So everything that has to do with the kingdom is yea and amen. Okay, 7121, to cry out, call aloud, roar, to proclaim, to pronounce, to preach, to call, to summon, to implore, to call together, to appoint, to praise, to celebrate, to call by name, to call out, to recite, to be called, to be summoned, to be called, to be named, to read aloud, to muster in any army, as in Judges, because the judgment is coming, and there is an army coming. All right. It is usually addressed to a specific recipient and intended to elicit a specific response. So again, if we're just calling our Creator God, okay, and anybody can be a God, but only one person is Yahuwah, Huahaya. All right. I am that I am, he who is beyond the teaching, the Torah, and the law. All right. And his son, YAHUWSHA, came and declared him to you all. All right. So as I'm declaring the truth to you all as well. And like I said, we need to get in here, read what it's saying, and what has been declared to you that should not be there, and what is for the purpose of taking out, which is for the purpose of sun worship. Because when you understand and start the books that I've mentioned for you to read, Come Out of Her, My People by C.J. Coster. There's another book, Two Babylons. I'm in the process of reading that as well. I forgot the man's name. Hislop is his last name, I believe. Anyway, that's a good book to read, because it talks about the fact that everything goes back to this Nimrod and this sun worship and all this. And the Creator created the sun. He doesn't need to worship the sun, you know. And like I said, this is where we are. Let me stop there, and we'll conclude. Father, again, forgive me for all sin and cleanse me of all unrighteousness, Father. Keep me with a contrite spirit and a contrite heart, Father, because I realize that I have a nature that is not good within itself, Father. I have nothing in and of myself, Father, without seeking you and your presence all the day long, even in my sleep state, Father. I ask that you would guide me, Father, because at times the enemy takes me places where I don't even want to go. And I ask that you would be with me and guide me all the days of my life. Not only me, Father, but those people that you have put in your book of life, Father, and those that you're adding and will add from this, even this video and these videos, Father. And if it comes to it that people will watch after I'm gone from the scene, Father, and these may remain, I ask that they will be blessed from these as well, Father. Because you are who you said you are. And we thank you for that. We thank you for all things. And we ask that you continue to bless and feed us, not only with food, Father, but more so with your spiritual food, that we may be filled up to the rim with every good thing that you would have for us to know. Thank you for your Kadesh Spirit. In Yahushua's name, Amen, Amen, and Amen. And may you be pleased. Thank you, Yahuwah. Amen.